Hello. I'm Janice. I'm editor-in-chief of The Ankler. All right, you are in for something so good. JB Smoove is one of those rare people who can take over a room, a scene, or a brand and somehow make all three better. He is now bringing that same energy into the marketing world with a new agency, but he's also bringing his energy here straight from his tour to NAB. Please welcome JB Smoove.
Janice.
All right, have a seat. Not on there.
That's a whole different podcast. That's a whole different thing. So you sit on this thing.
All right, JB, you just came from Indianapolis.
Woo!
How was
What?
that?
5 big shows, Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. Just got here, 2 hours sleep, but I'm here. Look at us. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed as normal. Here for the people. A man of the people. I call myself a man of the people all the time. I made t-shirts with that on it. Great time, great people came out. We are all a product of our path and how we touch people, no matter what TV show they have seen me on. And this goes back. I'm very blessed to have done a lot of amazingness, along this journey. I did a radio show on one of my tours like a year ago, and the radio guy, I know it's hard talking about radio in the podcast world, but all these small towns
Yeah.
still have radio stations, and God bless them to be working. And the guy pulled up my IMDb, and he started running things off.
It's
And
crazy.
it really made me sit back, and I said, wow, I forgot about that stuff. I forgot about a lot of that stuff. And when you start to focus on the moment, the current things you do, and depending on who you meet, they're a fan of your old stuff.
Yeah.
My IMDb, it really is, I think it's something to be studied. I say that because nowadays when you are speaking at colleges, you're speaking for young people, that can be my audience or it cannot be my audience. They forget about you when you're I'm 60, I turned 60. So for me, I'm trying to take what I've done and let people see it. This is a cheat sheet. A cheat sheet. People don't
Yeah.
use that a lot. It's a cheat sheet. How can I make my movement, uh, uh, to the point where I can just go and not think about what bad can happen?
Right.
Why not stumble once in a while and get your ass up?
Well, okay.
Excuse my French, but I'm just saying, why not? You won't do that again? Why don't you learn by watching people who actually do it and be inspired by them?
Okay, so let's talk about this because this
Yeah.
has to do with basically the JB Smoove brand, right? But you have longevity. And longevity, I think for anyone who has worked in this industry knows, is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So what is your secret? Why do you have longevity?
I've figured out my golf swing. And I know a lot of golfers are sitting here. I've figured my golf swing out. And I think you have to get that and master that to the point where you don't have to look anymore. You see that ball, you don't even see the ball no more. You see the ball once. You put your hand there. You put your hand in the ball hole right there in your bag. You grab the ball. You're talking to your buddy. You're having a good time. You put the ball. You know where the tee is at. You put it on the tee. You keep talking to your buddy. You're talking about hey, give me a beer over here. The beer cart riding around the court. And then you look at that ball one time. You already know what it is. There's your grip. You're holding your grip. And you hit the ball. Sometimes you turn around before the ball hit the ground because you know you caught it. Oh, I caught that one. You don't got to watch it like this the whole time. That's your golf swing.
Right.
And that's what, to me, gives you longevity. You have figured your golf swing out to the point where you can put yourself in a square peg, a circle peg, a triangle peg, a octagon. It don't matter. I can fit any peg. And that's something to give young people and to give people who are in my industry. Don't be afraid to squeeze yourself in there. Sometimes I don't even know what's coming sometimes, but when I show up, I show out.
Yes.
Show up and show out.
Yeah.
When I went in, I got this thing I do, and I don't want to jump the gun and talk about Curb too fast, but it doesn't matter what I do, movies, TV. Once you have mastered who you are, I was in a movie called We Bought a Zoo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The director saw me in the airport. He said, "I watched you come down the corridor in the airport. I watched you stand there, look at your clock, look at your watch. Let's find what gate you were on." He said, "I didn't want to meet you right there. I just watched you." And he said, "I watched you for 30 minutes." And I said, "Thank God I didn't pick my nose." But he said, "I watched you for 30 minutes." And he said, he watched how I moved. He watched me hug people, shake hands with people who loved what I do. And he said, "That's my realtor. That's my realtor." I didn't find that out until I went in to have a one-on-one with him. I didn't even have to audition. He said, "I don't need you to audition. I just wanted to meet you personally and let you know I saw you at the airport."
That's amazing.
That's deep.
That's deep.
So what are we? That is your golf swing, no matter what it is. If you can just be yourself, lock yourself in all the time, it's going to come in the form it's supposed to come. But when it wants to come, and I also got a little trick I do. I like to go in every room. I always say it's easy to pull back, hard to turn up. If you come in like this, guns firing, they're going to always say, "I love it. Can you give me a little less?" Everybody knows how to give a little less. Nobody knows how high to turn up.
Well, this brings us to Curb, and I want to talk
Let's
about
go.
agency, but I mean, Curb, I don't think people know that was improv. You and Larry David were just riffing off of each other.
Yeah, we have no dialogue. We have an outline that is the episode, and we go from there. And sometimes in the moment when they say action, I decide whether I want to have Larry's back or go against him, which is because I don't know what he's going to give me. So I gotta base it on how my character feels that day.
Yeah.
If me and Larry had something going on before we did this, I just base it on what I think is going to get the most funny, and as the character.
Right.
And I made another thing I've done is I try to give him something he did not know about the Leon character every time, and his eyebrows go up. Oh, 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 oh. He just like he doesn't know. I just throw it out there, and I keep extending my character based on things that he did not know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because Leon was always a lot.
He's always a lot. I mean, I remember some lines that to me, and I'm a comedian, and I always say this. My motive when I'm doing scenes with Larry is I'm trying to make a snot bubble come out his nose. You know what I mean? That's my that's my you know what I mean? That's my ceiling. Comedians, we got bad intentions for you. I had a lady show me she wet her pants one night in Tampa, and she opened her coat and said, "Please don't tell nobody I did this." But that's what we want. We want to see how far we can go, and that's a feather in our hat because we
Right.
made someone laugh. If we can touch you, whether it's making you laugh or inspiring you, that is exactly what we intended to do. And that is something big about that.
Well, we were talking back there about comedy, right? And
Mhm.
like, comedy makes people feel really good. And
Yes.
you are out there on tour, and I thought you talked about something you do after the show that I kind of couldn't believe.
Yeah.
Tell
I
them about this.
Now, if I'm doing 2 shows, first show gotta be tight because we gotta get the second audience in there.
Yeah.
So what I do is every show, when I rap, I go backstage, towel my face a little bit, put my hat on, and I go out there and I tell people I'm gonna be in the lobby. If you wanna hug, you wanna hang out with me, you don't have to buy anything. If you don't wanna buy any merch, you're not locked down to it, but I'll take photos with you and everything. I know comedian friends who actually charge you for a photo. I don't charge you anything. I just let you come, and a lot of times people, they get on that line is stretched through the casino or through the theater, and they will wait just to meet me and tell me how much they love. It could be any show, a movie, it could be Spider-Man, it could be Curb Your Enthusiasm, it could be Harley Quinn, it could be whatever they love, Pootie Tang, it don't matter. Whatever they love, they will talk to me about it and say, "Oh, I'm a big fan, da, da, da." And sometimes they'll say, "My dad loves you." I said, "Really? Call your dad on FaceTime right now, and you better say I'm his favorite." You know how many people who have called their parents who are in the hospital bed?
Oh,
I mean, no, a bunch of them. They said, "My dad's in the hospital, man. He couldn't be here. He's a big fan." I said, "Call him right now. Let me talk to him." They go, "Really? Really?" I said, "Yeah, why not? Call him right now on the phone." And they'll call him.
right.
But I think there's something really cool about, giving people, if you can be the person who they think you are, it's something cool about that. If they show up and you're not that dude, it's disappointing to them because they only like you from afar. I ran into a guy I met 10 years ago who came to the show, and I think there's something really cool about reconnecting with people and understanding what they love about your brand, what they love about what you bring. Um, and I think comedians, we are also therapists. We have to be. We have to listen to what makes you tick, what makes you laugh, what connects us together.
Well, let's talk about this because comedy in advertising. This is something that you have an agency. Let's back up. Let's talk about your new agency. And the name. Oh my god. Can you explain the name, please?
I see a few, young people, but people might get this. The company's called First Darrin. First Darrin. There was a TV show called Bewitched, and on that show, they had two different Darrins. They had Dick York and Dick Sargent. Dick York had back problems; he couldn't continue, and they just slipped in Dick Sargent. Didn't tell us nothing.
Who look nothing like
They
him.
look nothing like each other. They just threw him in there. He just started working. He just showed up to work like nothing happened, like nothing was wrong. But that's where and you know what? This is so crazy. But I sat on that name forever.
Why?
No, I sat because I didn't have I didn't have the reach yet. I'm still a working actor, working comedian. I still am, but had a lot of things I wanted to do, and you just wait for the opportunity to do something like this. Sometimes I tell people I'm a um I'm an ad man who turned into a comedian.
How do you
I real say
explain?
because I always had ideas. I would sit there and even I would watch TV and turn the volume down and create a whole new movie, sitting there just doing my own voiceover.
Wow.
So I might have got some people in this room. I would just sit in the car, like at a red light, and I see someone in the corner talking to each other or walking, talking. I'll make a whole scene out of that. I'll be your wife and I'll be you. And I just create something. I think that keeps the mind going. What you don't want to do is start. Look, I cannot stop technology, but I can say that if you rely on certain things too much, the mind gets lazy. It gets lazy. You can't think of things as fast no more because everything's doing something for you. It's doing it for you. You're handicapping your mind. I mean, how many people raise a hand to anybody who's read a book lately? Great.
Hey.
That's darn good. A lot of people on that phone, a physical book, great. Because the mind gets lazy.
Yeah.
When you rely on everything to answer questions for you, talking to Alexa, you're talking to everybody's doing stuff for you. You know what I mean? It's like everything's made now. So how do we keep our minds going? We read books. And I keep mine going by, improvising and creating things that are not there. And that keeps me it's like going to the gym. I'm going to the gym, a brain gym. And I can look. I, there's things that are going to be there when you get there. If I'm on Curb Your Enthusiasm and they see me on that show, and the first thing I do if I get a movie, they'll say, "Give me as the scene is written." Then after that, do you? They trust you. They trust that you gonna give them something that's not on that page, that's not on that script, and it's gonna be you. It's gonna fit you perfectly. Your timing, your delivery, everything plays a part in that. So that's what you're giving to a director, and he trusts you enough to say, I wouldn't get you here and let you be a robot."
Well, so if someone says, "I want you to do Leon," what do you say?
I turn the movie down.
Yeah,
I've turned down so many things because, you know, they I don't wanna that's a character.
right,
That's not me.
right,
Now this role is a different character.
right.
So I gotta sit there and say, "You know what?" But here's when things I don't know whether it's flattering. Like, I've had, people tell me, they went on a like, friends with screenshot something, took a photo of a scene in the movie they're in, and it will say, um, "Johnny walks in the room, think JB Smoove." You know what I mean? Which is flattering. It's flattering to say, "Hey, oh, wow, they want that energy." You know what I mean? And that's what you know what I mean? They want what they see, or they want and they want a rhythm. There is a rhythm to what comedy is and stand-up is. There's a rhythm to it. You're
Yep,
playing an instrument.
it's music.
It's music. It's poetry. It's all those things. And you need that pace. You need a movie to go like this. You need a movie to move. You don't want people getting up, getting popcorn while your movie's on.
Right.
They want a pace to that movie. A lot of it comes from editing,
Yes.
but you capture the moment. And I think that's a unique thing that comedians have. And I'm able to do that, and I'm able to apply that character, um, whether it's Curb or whatever. But I do think there's something that I do uniquely. Leon's a character,
Yeah,
you know. Um, I think there's something still in that rhythm. I can't play that guy no more unless it's Curb.
right.
I can't do that. But I like to show what I've been doing this long enough that directors, producers, they know what they're getting,
Right.
So
Well, so comedy, you've just talked about all the sort of emotional attributes of comedy, right? And I'm just bringing it back to your agency. Comedy, though, is not very prevalent in advertising.
right.
And your partner, Miles, he has talked about the percentage. I'm going to mangle it, but the representation of comedy in advertising, which has this huge emotional connection,
Yeah.
it's not really there. And I'm wondering why you think that is.
The PC world we live in, everything's PC now. People are some brands are afraid to they think they're gonna lose people, you know? And I always say, "You're never gonna get everybody. Never. If you get everybody, God bless you. You're never gonna get everybody. I'm sorry. Everybody's not gonna go in there and buy your product. Everybody's not gonna do it. They're gonna either hate the packaging, they're gonna hate the taste, or whatever it is, it don't fit me right. Whatever it is, they're not gonna like it. So how do we grab those people? You get smart humor, smart branding, smart deliveries, and how you give it to people. You gotta be a little daring. But a lot of that stuff is not on that page. A lot of that stuff is not in your idea of how you see it. A lot of that comes across very well depending on who you're working with. You gotta have a connection to the person you're working with, and you gotta have a connection to the brand. They gotta let you they gotta give you a little rope, little string, a little bit. Because look, you're trying to capture things that are constantly moving. Nothing is standing still anymore. Nothing is. As much as you think you don't want that, you got to have it sometimes because everything's moving
Right.
constantly. Nothing gonna from this moment. From I'll give it the last 5 years moving forward. Nothing's gonna be still no more. Nothing's gonna be people sitting right there like robots. No one does that anymore. People got a minute tops attention span for whatever the hell you trying to do. If you think you're gonna sit there and give people this long, drawn out thing, it ain't gonna be successful. People got short attention spans. They recognize voices. They hear the rhythm of a voice. People have told me they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the TV to keep their kids sitting still while they wash the dishes. And they're in there watching dishes. They hear me in the animated show, and they go, they peek in it. I knew that was JB. You know, I'm not in it, but they hear, they hear my
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
That's how much time sometimes you got to sell things. Sales is not long and drawn out no more. This is quick, quick, quick hit, pow. 30 seconds, pow, I'm out of there. And sometimes you gotta take chances. You have really got to take chances, and you got to find out what it is about your product that people love,
Well,
and who can sell it.
I know he said before that people are more likely to purchase if there's comedy in the ad. So
Yes.
explain, what's that logic?
The logic is humor is the one thing that we all have in common.
Does
It's
anyone not like to laugh?
Does anyone not like to laugh? And you gotta remember now, think about this. Some of the best commercials in the world were hilarious. And then think about the Super Bowl. We sit there waiting for those damn commercials. We can't wait to see the commercials. As good as that game is, if we're not a fan of that team, we just gonna watch it because it's the Super Bowl. But those commercials, man, they so good that the next day they rank them. They rank them. That's how important a commercial is.
Yeah.
That's how important it is because they rank them. You need comedy. You need comedy. Um, and it's something that helps sell product. It really does. Right across the street. I mean, not right. Well, I don't know how far it is, but Caesar's is right over there. I was Caesar for 2 years. Yeah, and not because my middle name is Angelo, but I was for 2 years, and believe me, it was like pulling teeth. It really was. It wasn't easy creating something new and different and selling a new product or something new to people. It's just wasn't something that was existing. It's just something new. Sports betting was new to
Right.
everybody. How we sell it in a fun way.
Right.
But the last thing you want people to think about is losing their damn house. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You got to give them something that makes them step back and say, "Man, I'm enjoying these commercials. I'm gonna spend my little $100 on betting on somebody." We don't want you to lose everything you own, but we got to entertain you and make you laugh and love the character, and it's part of the business. We this is what we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a big part of it.
So if I'm a big Fortune 500 brand, right? And I'm, trying something different. How do I work with JB Smoove? What does that look like? How do you plug in?
I'm gonna tell you how you plug in. The comedy, the comedy of it all is a bonus. The professionalism is number one. How you see things is on that list. Being a salesman is on that list. I've been a salesman my whole life.
Wait, talk about that. The first
I've been a
job.
salesman. My first look, my one of my first jobs I ever had was I used to sell fire extinguishers door to door fire extinguisher salesman. I wasn't doing comedy. I was pleasant. And my first thing was, it's terrible to say this, but if I'm trying to sell you a fire extinguisher, the first thing I gotta do is scare the hell out you. I gotta scare you to the point where you're like, damn, I didn't realize how dangerous a fire could be. And I don't have not one fire extinguisher in this house. and I got kids and a grandpa in a wheelchair. You know what I mean? I gotta scare you to the point where you're like, you know what? Come inside. So let me see your demonstration. As soon as I ring that bell and you open the door, I gotta lean over and see what's going on in your house. You know? Oh, I see toys on the floor. I'm doing research on you. I'm doing research on you. You see how responsible you are, number one, because I have to care about you.
Yeah.
And that's not funny.
Right.
I gotta care about you, but I gotta do it in a way where I'm not threatening.
Right.
I'm not threatening. I'm like, wow, good to meet you. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a fire extinguisher in your home? I see you have children. I see you have a grandpa back there in a wheelchair. I gotta give you the whole spiel. My thing is to get in your damn house and do my demonstration and show you how I can make your home safe and better. And that's a salesman. That's a salesman. That's not a comedian. That's a salesman who just happens to have personality. The guard is down now. Got you. Now let's see how many you need. Let me show you how this works. I'm patient with you. Your kids running around the damn house while I'm talking. All kinds of things are going on. Phone ringing. Excuse me. I'll be right back. Hold that thought. All that's happening. I gotta have patience. If I show even a little bit of being impatient with you, you can read it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I don't like this guy. He got a little
Guy's a
attitude.
salesman.
Don't get testy with the person.
Yeah.
That's a good salesman. Man, he rides with it. This is a challenge. This household is a challenge for me. I'm going to sell you. My goal is to sell you 3 fire extinguishers. One for the garage, one for the kitchen, and one for the hallway closet. Just in case you get stuck in that house trying to get out.
Right.
I got to scare the hell out of you. That's me being caring. That's not me being funny.
Right.
That's me being caring.
Were you funny though too?
I had to be a little funny. I had to be a little funny. Because that gets people comfortable with you.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're telling people about the fire extinguishers. Now I'm selling more. It's a pyramid. I'm selling more of these fire extinguishers because people love the presentation. They love me and they recommended the product.
Right.
So that's what this is always going to be.
Right.
There is levels to all this. You can't joke your way through everything. But you gotta realize I've also been a game show host. You know, that's not the whole show with me. I'm trying to get you to win this money.
Yep.
I'm trying to get you to go and I got a goal. I gotta meet this thing. I want you to win. I'm not gonna be a game show host and want you to lose.
Right.
I want you to leave with that car.
Right.
I want that car to be yours right there. So that is all these things that you can do have got to match, you know, the execution of it all. Execution is the number one thing we want to try to do is execute.
Right.
And that's what a partner or anybody working with you wants. It's execution.
Yep.
You don't want to spend extra money on extra days. Now you're messing with my damn budget now. Let's get this. Let's get this. Let's talk. Let's figure out what it is. I want you to trust me also.
So is this something that, I think people would tend to think comedians, yeah, they're going to be over budget, undisciplined, say things that are going to get them in trouble. So how do you disabuse people of that sort of image of comedians?
Disengage all that talk. Think about this. You're on stage on a comedy show, right? It says, it's going to be, let's just say your set is supposed to be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Man, you get up there and you're on stage 2 hours. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to get people, no matter how funny you think you are and how much people laughing, half those people going to get up. Because they got other things to do. Not sit here watching you for 2 or 3 hours on that stage. They don't get up.
Right.
They don't have time to sit there. Their time is valuable. They got a damn babysitter at the house.
Right.
That lady got to go home at some point.
Right.
All that, it's part of that. So, time is money. So me being on that stage for too long, I lose my audience.
Right.
I lose the shine is gone. You're tired of laughing. Your cheeks hurt, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You tired.
You gotta go to the
Okay. All
bathroom.
right,
You're
man.
hungry. Like,
You're hungry. You're tired. Everything.
yeah,
Only pay for 2 hours parking. My parking is. I'm about to get a ticket over you.
right.
And that's the same thing with people spending their money.
Yeah,
Same thing. It still applies. So respectfully, you have to be at the disposal of what this is. What what are we doing here? How do we get through this thing and make and and it's like taking the SAT test. When you start erasing too much, you know what I'm saying? When you start to you in this you sitting there and when you start doing this and indecisiveness, that's money, that's time gone. When you start doing it, that's when you lose. You lose.
yeah,
But they say the first answer is always normally percentage wise, it's the right
correct.
answer. But you're going off instinct. Oh, I remember seeing this. Something everything's not memory. Sometimes things that you saw. Oh, I remember this. It could be something you heard 3 months ago in class.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, they slipped that in there. I remember her talking about that. And now you got the upper hand because you're not sitting there relying on. You're not a robot no more. You're really remembering things a different way. And some key word connected you. How the teacher said it connected you. You
right.
had to answer the question, connected you. So all this is intentional.
So do you feel like you kind of have this producer's mentality through experience, or were you born with it?
No, me aspiring to be something and my experience level is different.
Okay.
My experience level is timing. I know timing. I feel I like to write forward. I don't write for the moment. I don't think about the moment ever. I think about what is going to be something that people are going to copy.
Huh.
What are they going to copy? If I can think ahead, I'm ahead of the game. So by the time people get to us, we already hit the market. We already did this
How do you
already.
know?
You copying our stuff.
How do
We
you
did
know?
this
How do you know? What do you
because I always think forward. I never think in the moment.
Right.
If you think in the moment, you're stuck and you're going to always be behind. By the time that commercial comes out, what you said is irrelevant. It's old now. By the time you cut it up, produce it, you do all that stuff you got to do, it's old. And if you're in the moment, everybody's doing the same thing you doing. You're not doing something new. But if you can keep your mouth shut and you can think forward, man, this happened, then this happened. But what if this happens?
Right.
When I write jokes, I write them in threes because I want a trajectory. I want to see, oh, this happened. But what if this happened? I write in threes,
Like 3 acts?
three levels to something. This happened. But what if this happened? But what if this happens? Then you got three levels there that people can look at, and you can have three. It's broken up in levels. It's a staircase. So you always write forward. Movies write forward. Think about this. This is great. Think about this. You ever watch an old movie about the future? Huh? You see stuff in there that they still ain't gave us. Then they start to give you a little at a time, right? The Jetsons. They had moving sidewalks in the 60s. They had all that stuff. They ain't gonna give it to you because humans are stupid. They ain't ready for that yet. They ain't ready for no moving sidewalk. But when you're ready, they give it to you. That's why you write for the future. You write forward. When you write forward, you're ahead of everybody. By the time your piece, your campaign, whatever it is, comes out, they're like, holy smokes. That is awesome. Did you see that new spot? Ooh, that's crazy. I never thought about that. You write forward. Miles and I talk about that all the time. We never write for the moment. The moment you're in the moment. Why would you write for the moment? You write for forward. You write forward.
Well,
You're
okay.
ahead of the game by
Let
then.
me ask you, because a lot of people in the ad industry today would say forward is AI and they're scared or they think it's gonna save money and solve everything or ruin everything, whatever your belief system is.
Look, you're never going to be in a world that's not AI. AI is, you can say how long AI has been here, but you can also say a functional version of AI is here now, right? Well, like I said, the more you use certain things, the dumber you're going to get. Who in this room does not want to claim their creativity? Huh? Is anybody here doesn't want to say, I thought of that? Nobody wants to do that. Huh? Why would you not want credit for something creative that you thought about? I thought of that campaign. I did that. Ooh, look what I did. You want to claim that? AI, look, it's AI is going to be great in saving money, not the authentic thing you are giving people, right? Giving a producer, giving a director. That's that's real. Okay, let's say that you shot the whole thing, and damn it, I need you, man. We gotta reshoot something. But you're already on another movie. You grew a beard. You know what I'm saying? You got a mohawk now. You're a whole different dude, and you're working every day on the other movie. They gotta recreate that
Yeah.
little scene, and they to save money, they gotta use AI. We're gonna recreate that street scene. We're gonna recreate that car. We're gonna recreate you. It's gonna go. All we need is 5 seconds of that scene. I just need to see you and put you in that scene, and I gotta use AI to save this money. Okay, that's great. You don't need me. You don't need to pay me thousands of dollars to fly me back to London to shoot that scene. Use it.
Right.
That's what's gonna be the saving grace is saving money, saving production cost. Yes. But AI can't. AI is limited still. Human emotion, all that stuff is gonna be always be a thing. Unless everybody in this room just want to be robots and just be guided by technology and not have an opinion and not be able to use your eye, your experience, and things that molded you and all the work you did to get to this point. You're gonna let somebody else take credit? You're gonna let them take credit for who you are and how you grew up and everything that inspires young people? AI is not gonna inspire people. AI can't pull you to the side and talk to you. I need you to work a little harder. AI can't do that. AI can't be in the moment. It can't be in the moment with you. AI can't walk down the street and meet an old friend. And you, it's that you had to be there moment. AI don't have that you had to be there moment. Some things happen one time between you and somebody. Can't recreate that. Man, remember that time? It don't have to remember. It does not have your remember that time moments.
Right.
Remember that time we was in a dorm and you know what I mean? It doesn't have that ability because it's yours. It's your personal experience that you already experienced. And that is that you had to be there moment. When it does that, we in trouble. If it can be that, our butts are in trouble because we don't gotta do nothing ever again.
Mm.
You're gonna have no true memories. You're gonna have that experience that you can hold and say, man, I remember when I met my wife. If you want to tell AI all your damn business, you know what I mean? You and your wife first date and all that stuff, and you want to give all that up, man, that's yours. That's you and her. That's her stuff. You can talk about that thing, tell your kids that story. You want no damn AI telling that story. I'm not saying AI is not usable. It's great for what you use it for. But when you give it up and you give it all, and when you let it drive, just know it's a long ride.
Mm.
You know, when you let it drive, it's a long ride. You're gonna be a passenger sitting in that damn seat, and every time AI pull over, you got to pay the gas. Some of this stuff I got to write down.
Okay, what about, have you ever searched on ChatGPT or Claude or whatever these, write some jokes for JB Smoove? Never.
Never. I've never done that ever, 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 ever. I've had comedians try to give me a punch up, and I will not take it. I'll say I'll figure it out. Oh, thanks, man. But I won't tell them like, oh, that's corny. I won't take it. I'll just say, oh man, that's interesting. You know what I mean? But I take pride in saying something. Going back to curve, saying something for the first time is a high for me. It's a high. I got on a run one time with Larry, man, and I knew I had him on his heels. He starts to twitch. He starts, he does a little twitchy lip thing. And I know I got him on his heels, and I look him in the eyes, and I got him. He know I got his ass where I want him. We had this one scene we did with the girl took off work because she had constipation. Man, I got to run. I got a full head of steam on that. Let me tell you something. I said I was on a, I was on a hot dog eating contest, constipated. I was, I did like 5 in a row, and then he just kept the ones he wanted to use. And man, look, inside I'm laughing. I'm just like, because I don't break. I don't really break. I just like I know I got him, and I think there's something really where you are in control of things that makes everything special, and I think the one thing we do want to do, we all want it. We want people to listen to us, or at least believe in what we're saying, or trusting the things that got you here to this point. Like, how do I make people trust my path, the things I've figured out? You know what I mean? Whether it works for you or not, I don't know, but it worked for me. And if you can at least have an option on things, that's the payoff. That's the payoff.
Um, so JB, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I feel like I have to ask, can you give a demonstration of one of your 3-part looking into the future jokes?
Ooh. Oh. Let me see. A three-part bit that I can tell. That's not
No children here.
no a 3-part bit that's edgy. I mean not edgy, that's relatable. Let me see. I just do this bit uh years ago when I first started. I was talking about I'm a New Yorker. It was a fight. It was a fight. I was watching a fight and I was laughing while the 2 guys were fighting. And they both turned around and said, "What the hell are you laughing at?" So everybody, I said, "Why you pick me out the crowd?" So everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a good time. And then he started fighting me, but I couldn't fight well. So I just would block punches and I backed myself all the way home. And I blocked myself. Then the guy came in the house. Can't come in the house. You can't come in the house. Don't go in the fridge. Don't drink that juice. And he just started doing things in the house because I couldn't fight. I just backed up all the way home to my safe place. But I didn't know these guys were gonna come in the house and do stuff. Get comfortable, eating food, making Pop Tarts. But that's the build. No one knows that me going into that house is me going into the future. That's me going forward. That's movement that way. That's movement and that's how I write.
Right.
It has to escalate to a big ending. Grandma comes downstairs. Who's your little friend? Oh, you're hitting grandma too? It's something as silly as it is. I'm a grandmother. It's something fun about all that because it's storytelling. Storytelling is number 1 right now. Storytelling. People are talking about storytelling. People are telling stories for years. But now the attention is being given to storytelling, whether it's in your business, whether it's in entertainment, storytelling is king now. And it's always been there. But I think there's a different application for it now. You look at what they're doing now with this, mini dramas they're doing on TikTok and all this
Yeah.
stuff. This is what I talked about. It's only gonna keep going. And this is this is the future of what we do. And I'm not worried about it. Um, I can choose to go that path and do those mini dramas and do that mini stuff, do all that stuff on social. I can choose to do it or not. Is the real industry, what I do, gonna go away? I think it's gonna be affected, but I don't think it's gonna ever go away. There's always gonna be a way of doing it. But if people can do that and they can be creative and tell stories and do all that stuff, God bless them. It keeps everybody working, keeps people busy. Man, niggas that you keep people busy and no one's frustrated and just losing hope into thinking that, wow, is what I do gonna go away? I don't think it's gonna ever go away.
Yeah.
The human element is always gonna be needed. You know what I mean? And people have to be able to say yes,
Yep.
and people gotta be able to say no.
Yep.
And you gotta choose. You gotta choose your own path. You gotta choose what you're gonna do with what you do, what you have mastered. You know how crazy that would be? You master something and it's useless? What? Could you imagine that? You mastered something, went to school for this. I was an intern doing this for years. And now what I did is useless. So what do I do now? Go back to the drawing board and learn something else? Or what do I do now? That's the question. You might not be saying it right now in the moment. Another 5 years, you're gonna question it because things are not gonna stop moving forward for you. That's for sure. It's not gonna move forward for your ass, I promise you. So how me and Miles think, you know, it's a cheat sheet. Think forward. Um, know your talent. Be different. All those things matter. You gotta be different. You gotta think different. And I say, look, I don't follow trends or anybody. And I got some amazing stand-up friends. They are freaking beasts on stage. But I still say, it's kind of like, I seen Mike Tyson say this one time. He said, when I'm right, can't nobody beat me. If you can say that in your head over and over again, just say that to yourself once in a while. When I'm right, can't nobody beat me. It's not a contest with everybody else. It's a contest with you. You fighting yourself. So long as you're prepared to put your dukes up, nothing's going to surprise you now. It's when you're surprised when you panic. You start stepping on toes, burning bridges, losing friends because you're stepping on them. It happens all the time. I know somebody in this room got friends in the same industry, and you find yourself like competing for things. Compete with yourself. Compete with yourself. It's deep.
It's deep.
Yeah, we all do the
It's
same thing.
great advice.
When I do a show, I don't compete with my colleagues and my friends. I don't compete with them. I want everybody to do good on that stage and give those people what they want.
Yep.
I do know comedians who take it like it's a contest between us. It's not a why are we in a contest? We're in the same business. We're trying to make sure these people go home happy. Why are we competing with each other? You know what I'm saying? Why are we standing on the edge of the stage watching like, he all right,
Yep.
he all right. It happens because people are vain. We are vain, and that's a human thing that
It's a human fault.
it's a human fault.
Yes.
Everybody don't have, but some of us do, and it becomes a contest.
Yes.
It's enough. It's enough food at that cookout for everybody until we run out of them damn buns.
So JB,
Now
final
you gotta put the
word.
hot dog on the damn hamburger bun. Really? I gotta break this hot dog in half and put 2 halves of the hot dog on that hamburger bun. You done ran out of goddamn hot dog buns.
Okay, final word. You kind of have answered this, but final word, people, a lot of people are having a hard time right now for,
Yeah.
jobs, the world, the state of the world. Like, give them one last message of how to hang in there.
Don't get caught up. Sometimes turn the goddamn TV off. Be with yourself. Don't watch things going on because look, think about this. When I was growing up, we didn't have this access to all this stuff. And sometimes things are not as bad as is promoted, you know? And when you look at that stuff all day, you think the world about to end. Not that you shouldn't think about your kids' future. You have to. We're inundated with so much stuff now. You can't even you get caught up. You get damn near sad sometimes at what you're seeing. You're seeing everything. You're seeing everything to the point where now this thing about this. You can't, unless you really know what you're looking at, you can't tell what's real and what's AI no more on people are putting fake stuff up every minute. You can't tell what's real no more. That's scary. If you can't get motivated by something that is real and you're looking at something that's not real, it's like, what do I believe in? What do I watch now that is going to help me keep going? When people are out there actively making fake stuff, and sometimes they'll put it way at the bottom in hashtags AI. You're like, God damn it, I thought that was real. You mean that lady did not climb out that horse butt? Am I tripping? It's a lot of that. So you got to sit there and say, man, if you start falling for it, they got you. They got you, man. Don't get got. Don't get got, man. And think about what I said earlier. You meet people, give them your authentic self. And I mean that by that being one of my process when I'm doing things. It's easy to pull back, hard to turn up. And when it's hard to turn up like that, you don't know how high to go. So you end up messing up anyway. So now you went so high that the person's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But if you can find a way to do that, understand adjustments, making adjustments in game, it's football talk. In game adjustments. In game adjustments work because you're really working off of your sensibilities, which is seeing. I tell any, also, this is another thing. No matter what you do, take an improv class. Take an improv class. Don't think that you're going to just go there and be funny. Like, no, it's other stuff that comes along with it. It's being able to read energy, mannerisms, uh, blinking, what people are doing when they're uncomfortable, how they lean back. All these little things are part of improv. You will learn that voices, how they speaking, how they raise their voice a little bit, or how they cower a little bit. You're making them uncomfortable. Improv teaches you all that stuff, not just how to be funny in the moment and doing stuff. No, improv really is a skill. And I got a friend of mine he does real estate. I said, man, take an improv class and watch how you sell better. Because you're going to give those people what they want. You're going to be able to read them, whether they like this house or not.
Right.
I think that's a very important thing to take. It doesn't matter what you do. It's not just for actors. It's for people in business too. Trying to sell, trying to meet people, trying to make connections and expand your business. All that stuff is a part of you being able to understand human nature. It's a real tool. You won't even realize it after you're going to realize it later. You're going to say, oh, I see. You're going to be able to explain that person. You're going to be able to explain exactly who they are.
Huh.
Just because you knew how to, give them a little space, know when to walk away. I'll tell you something. You want to save some time? Know when to walk the fuck away. Based on your instinct, how you feeling. I don't like his energy. Move on. Don't waste your time because you would eat up your time. And you'd be like, damn, I wasted all that
Oh,
time
yeah.
on something that didn't go nowhere. God damn it, I wish I didn't do that. And that's what you look back on. You look back on that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so all this applies. This is interesting because I'm actually opening things and areas in my mind that I forgot about. But I think but this is me just understanding the path,
Yeah.
understanding doing this 30 something years, what that is. And that applies to our ad agency, that applies to our production company. I do believe having a brand, connecting to people, having something unique that's yours, whether it's in the moment with people or whether it's in the future with people, there's always going to be a need for that. And once you create a brand, people understand your style, they understand who you are, they understand what you bring to the table. And that's so important that they know what they're getting when they get you.
Yep. Okay. We committed JB Smoove Cardinal Sin. We went over time. But okay, can we give it JB? Thank you very much. That was amazing.
This is so fun. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This is so fun. It's therapeutic, I promise you.
Definitely not an AI, JB Smoove. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're amazing.
You are.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right.